Started. Everyone's settling in.
Hello, hello. Agents have such ADHD. We take like 10 minutes to settle in, say hello to everybody. We have some people in person and 11 on Zoom and a bunch on Facebook as well.
Yeah, there's more.
And then we'll be on later as well.
We just have to settle these men down over here.
The thing, everybody has ADHD.
Quiet down over there to the right. No.
Let's go for it, I think.
Okay, guys, so we're gonna get started. I'm just kidding. I'm trying to put my head in here so people can see me. Where am I?
Yeah, get close.
Sorry, this is so awkward.
I'll just turn it on.
Okay, there. All right. Good morning, everybody on virtual world and in person. This has been a really highly requested session that we're going to do today. I think probably at least everyone in this room has at some point asked us about pre-construction, how to do it, how to find projects, how to find the clients, how to market the properties. More importantly, how to find the projects for your clients. I think that's probably number one question you get.
Yeah.
Carly has never done a full presentation for everybody, so this is going to be new for her. But yeah, she's got a lot of information to teach us about today. And if you guys have questions, do you want to answer them during or after?
I'm easy for both. So.
Okay, so if you have questions throughout, ask them both virtually and here, and I will relay the questions to her. We will record this session too, so it will go on our YouTube channel afterwards. So keep an eye out for that if you guys wanted to go back to any of the sessions. But this is Carly, for those of you that never met Carly Fulton. Yeah, I'll let you take it away.
I'll put my virtual screen back on. So Katelyn, you're going to watch for new attendees and chat, right? You can see it really clearly, right?
Up here? I can't see anything.
I don't think you'll be able to see where it says the chat too. Yeah. Can you read that though? Okay.
Nope. Oh yeah, a little bit.
The group will help you out, I think.
I'm very blind, so
we're going to talk about pre-construction. I'm not going to talk about like taxes or laws or any of that kind of fun stuff. That was like last week's session and maybe a future session as well. This is more about what it is, because there's a lot of newbies in the room as well. How to sell it, how to promote it, how to get engaged with the Toronto community in pre-con. Most of you have sold more pre-con than I have. I see some experienced people in the room, so maybe you can help us out a little bit as well. But definitely you've sold more than I certainly have. So when I came on board in, I guess, 2016, 2017, I got a lot of questions about pre-construction. I think it was really hot back then. The market was hot. There was same kind of now, there was low inventory. I knew nothing about it. So I did learn it and I learned it very quickly. It's a very interesting world. It's not complicated, but it's not black and white like the resale market. The rules are a little bit more loose. The marketing is a lot more intense and it's just a little bit more unique. You have to be very resourceful and really dig into information. So I'm here as a resource to help you with that, but just remember, it's not clear cut, it's not black and white. So you have to be really resourceful to get into it. So today we're going to discuss how do you find out about new projects, what are assignments, how to build relationships with builders, developers, and the listing brokerages. We'll talk about different types of events and why they're important to attend them, how to promote these to your clients, what the offer and the worksheet process looks like, and then other closing considerations. And then at the end, I'll open it up to the floor. If anyone has assignment listings or exclusive pre-construction that you're trying to market or advertise, we'll open it up to the room so you can discuss that with the group as well. So what does it mean to buy pre-construction? Buying pre-construction means purchasing a house or a condo before it's finished. Sometimes this can be before construction has even begun, and it can be years before the actual completion date. When buying freehold pre-construction, so detached houses, semis, that sort of thing, so freehold, not condo, typically the closing is a little bit closer. It's not as long as a condo tower that's being built from the ground up, but they're both sold pre-sale before it's even been constructed, sometimes even before they even have permits or approvals to do so. So there's some key differences between pre-con and resale. Most of you will know this already, but we'll go through it just in case. So in pre-construction, you're buying speculative pricing. You're buying predictive pricing for a future period of time when the building is predicted to be completed, versus resale, you're buying at today's prices. In pre-construction, you'll typically see a layout with some renderings and pictures, but these plans can change before completion. They're not final, and you will see clauses like that in the agreement. Versus resale, you get to go inside and see it. It's tangible. You see the finishes, you see the quality, you see the views. It's a lot easier to see and visualize. In pre-construction, you can choose the finishes, usually from a set, usually 3 to 4 different packages, and then even room layouts depending on the type of project and how competitive it is, which can also change. So builders do have the right to change that even before completion as well. Versus resale, you're buying the house as is. You're not typically doing any changes unless you're negotiating that, particularly you're buying it as it is. In pre-construction, you can buy as an investor, but you can't actually rent it out and receive income until it's in its occupancy. Versus resale, you can buy today, you can rent it out as soon as it closes. In pre-construction, you're typically paying a deposit between 5 and 20%, but it's spread out over time. So it could be 1 or 2 years spread out. Versus resale, you're paying the down payment and the deposit right away. In pre-construction, you don't actually get the mortgage until it closes, till it finally registers. And that could be 6 months to a year after its occupancy time. So you do have to pay occupancy fees during that time. It's a little bit like rent, versus your mortgage on a resale will start right away as soon as it closes. So occupancy fees in a condo, when it closes, is typically the time between you can physically move in while they're building higher floors. And then you have to pay like rent. It's not the exact same as market rent. It will be a little bit less, but it's the true cost of permits and hydro and things to keep the building running until it finally gets registered. So your clients do have to budget for that, because it's almost like paying rent before your mortgage kicks in. So in pre-construction, you need to have a bunch of money ready to go at the end. And we'll talk about some of those closing costs as well. Assignment. So an assignment sale is when you sell your interest in the purchase contract to a new buyer. So you've purchased pre-construction and now you're selling that contract to a new buyer. So there's a whole bunch of rules and calculations and offers, and we'll go through that probably in a whole other session. Assignments are quite complex, but basically you're selling your contract, you're selling your interest in that condo to somebody else. Being profitable on an assignment really depends on the market. So if you looked at Toronto in 2005, which I know some of you are here, people were making a lot of money on assignments. It was a really hot thing. They were buying for a lot lower as well. Versus 2016, 2023, there's a lot of assignments available right now. Prices are really high and they're very hard to sell and make money on. So they're really market dependent. You cannot predict the market. That's why pre-construction is a bit of a risk. It's a bit of a gamble because you never really know. And you have some limitations because now the builders are putting things into your contracts that are restricting you from doing assignments. If you are allowed, there's usually rules and taxes associated with that. So there are some limitations that your client needs to be aware of before purchasing, because you need to find out exactly what their intent is with that pre-construction unit. So talk a little bit about builders. So builders, there's probably 10 to 20 really well-known builders in Toronto. Some of them will include Tridel, Altura, Chestnut Hill, Almadab, Great Golf, Daniels, Mattamy Homes, Menkes, Center Court. There are literally hundreds of other ones, a lot smaller ones too. Some people come here from Vancouver and develop, but they're global. Are there any other builders that are not on here that you guys are aware of that you've done deals with? Or are these mainly the big ones? Tribute, yeah. Tribute from Pickering. So a lot of Durham area for Tribute. Marshall Homes, they do a lot of detached. Which one, Claire? Chestnut Park. Yeah, that one's Chestnut Hill Developments. Yeah. Is that a project or a builder? I don't remember. The Dawes? Who's building the Dawes? You remember, Steve? I don't remember either. So these are the guys that are actually, putting in the money, developing these things. They have a whole team of other people with them, like architects and planners and things like that. And then the people that are actually selling pre-construction are actually listing brokerages. So they're considered marketing listing brokerages that specialize in pre-construction. So those were the builders. And then behind them that are doing the marketing and the selling are people like Prompton. So they're actually the real estate power behind Tridel. They have their own internal real estate brokerage. Intuition is who powers Chestnut Hill, as well as other projects all over Oakville, Mississauga, Toronto as well. Cornerstone does a lot in the GTA as well. I know Steve has a good relationship with them. Rare Realty is a new one. They're an offshoot from Freed, who are an offshoot of PSR, who are now doing their own thing as well. So they're doing LSQ right now, which is the project that we're promoting. Hirsch is another team, came from a guy who was really high up in pre-construction, did his own sales. Now he runs his own brokerage that specializes in pre-construction sales. Hirsch is the guys that sent us up in helicopters to do crazy launches. They've got an immersive theater. They're doing some really crazy stuff with their marketing. Austin Birch is another sort of marketing listing brokerage. And I threw Percy Fulton on here because I think one day we could be able to represent a project like this too. Although I admit being on the buyer side is really nice, because being on the buyer side, you're getting your 2.5 to 4% commission. You're not paying a lot of marketing dollars versus what you're paying for an entire building to market that. So you may prefer to be on the buyer side always. It's a nice part of the business. But if you do have interest to represent them on the listing side, you can. It's no different than having a listing on the resale market, but you've got to pay a lot of money in marketing, and it's a lot of relationships because you've got to now build relationships with all 70,000 different real estate agents in the market. But these are sort of the other people who you're going to want to build relationships with, because these are the ones that are doing the VIP events. They're the ones doing your worksheets. They're doing the allocations. So the marketing people are really who you want to build a relationship with. So I get this question a lot. How do you find new projects? It's not on MLS. There's no clear-cut database for pre-construction like there is resale, right? So I always recommend people going to third-party websites. This could be buzzbuzzhome.com. Could be Condo Now, could be GTA Homes. You have to remember that these are also lead generating websites though for themselves. So there may be other agents on these websites. They may also be a brokerage just trying to get leads, but they are good databases to get information. You just have to know how to navigate those websites. You're not going to want to send your client directly here. It's for you to get information to share them. You're also going to want to sign up for the builder and the listing brokerage's direct emails and invites. So in my email right now, I get probably about 50 to 100 a day because I sign up for literally everything. Even VIP agents, I'll sign up for their newsletters. So most of the time when you ask me about a project, I'm going into my email to Google it to see if I got an email directly from the builder or another agent. And that's just how I get information. So if you don't want your email bogged up with all those emails, maybe create like a different pre-construction Gmail that you sign up for all these newsletters for, that you keep as your own database for information. Because most of the time, you can't have access to everything. There's literally hundreds and thousands of projects. So this is kind of what I do. I go to these sites first, I get into my email, and you have to get really resourceful to dig into like the broker portals, like find the links, find the passwords, like sign up for VIP and just like poke around and dig around and just try to sign into things. Because you'd be surprised, there's a lot of broker portals that you'll just get access to by having your RICO, and there's a lot of information in there. So do that. Also follow different VIP agents or developers on Instagram. So a lot of people are posting things on Instagram. It's a good way for you to get up to date by just scrolling. You're on there anyways. And then in all else, just call me and I'll help you find it. So we're mostly VIP on projects in Durham, Toronto, GTA areas. Mississauga, Oakville is not my prime area, but I will certainly find somebody out there for you, whether we partner with a brokerage or we partner with a VIP agent or we get direct access. Just ask me and I'll help you navigate it. You will find projects on RealNet on MLS. I guess it's the more formal database, but it's only updated when they're struggling to sell projects. You're typically not going to find VIP on there as well. It comes a little bit later and it's not 100%. So it's not your best resource, but you can check there too for information. So events. So there's lots of different type of events and we promote all of them. So I'm going to promote like the broker direct events. We have our own internal events where we invite people here to talk about a project. Builders will also have public events that you can bring your clients to. And even if you think you don't have a client for it, it's really important that you show up, because especially in times like this, they're looking for you for your support to help them sell. And they're going to remember that in a high market, when things are all VIP and really popular, they're going to remember your support and your attendance. So it's not about having a client for that project. You really have to show up and go, because you're showing your support for the builder. You actually get to meet the builder, you get to meet the brokerages, you get to meet with different agents. Then you get to post about it on your social media as well. So it's really important that if you want to get into pre-construction, you need to go to these events. They're at nighttime, they're on weekends, they're not at fun times. They're socially draining because there's like hundreds of people there sometimes, and sometimes there's drinking, and there's like, it's a party sometimes, and it's, for the introvert, can be quite draining. Bring somebody with you as well, but it's really important that you go and you show up and that you give your card, you get on their list, and that they see your face there. Even our own events, especially the Zoom ones that we have, like there's usually between 20 to 50 people on them. Again, they need to see our support as a brokerage for them to sell, because they're going to remember that when we submit worksheets and try to get allocations. So I encourage everybody, whenever I have an event, just come, like just show your face, turn your camera off if you want to, like you don't necessarily have to engage, but just show up, because the more numbers we have, the better it looks for us in the future. So please come. And then the public events, Station 3 is doing them. They just did it last week. I think they're going to do more as well. The public will be there. You might even be able to find clients there. If you dress in all black, like all the sales girls typically are, you could pretend like you're there with the builder. You're not going to lie and be mischievous, but the public is there looking for support. Again, the builder wants your support to show up as well. And you want to put it on your social media so that your clients know that you have access to these events and you're participating in it as well. So go to all the events as much as you can. And if you're shy, bring somebody with you. And then marketing. So there's different kinds of marketing. There's proactive versus active styles, and they're all important, and they're all going to depend on your tech savviness and sort of what you want to do with the pre-construction business. So you're going to see this a lot where people are blasting it to their email database. So you yourself will also receive these from other agents and builders. Usually in a MailChimp or in a Hub 21, you can design sort of like an email. It just goes through the project deposit structures. They're quite long and scrolly if you're used to them. That's just because there's a lot of information on there. So those will be to your own email database, but it could be to prospective people, like leads that you've generated and added to your database as well. And you don't just want to send projects that you like or that you're interested in, but you kind of want to get into doing all of them, because the whole point is that they know that you're VIP on every single project and that you're like the expert of that. So you kind of want to send everything. Social media is really popular right now. So whether that's Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram, most of the builders will provide you with like the images and all the bricks to do it. I will be honest, they're a little like dated from what we are teaching you in Instagram. So I still find that they're just like square bricks, or they're not like real format, like they're videos that are horizontal. So do your own videos, like use theirs and crop them and shape them, or even go to the building site and add your own stuff to the marketing material that they give you. Because I think what Katelyn's teaching in Instagram is a little more advanced, and it's your opportunity to show your Instagram platform that you're kind of ahead of the curve that way as well. And then landing pages are quite sophisticated, but these are actual like web pages that agents have either hired a company to create for them, or if they're tech savvy, they're creating them, and they make it look like they're the builder themselves. So there's no rules in this world in terms of what you can market. They give you all the assets so you market it for them. And you've got to pay a little bit of ad money to make sure that that landing page comes up at the top. So once I'm done this, I'll show you, we'll do like a live search and show you what comes up, and I'll show you how to figure out if it's the builder website or just another agent advertising it. But this is a way to collect leads. Like you're going to want to have a register now type of button to capture those leads. And then once they're in your lead funnel, you're going to need to nurture them as if you were any other leads. So you need to get them into your Hub 21 or some sort of campaign, and you need to get them into your calling kind of schedule as well. So that's a way to capture leads, not necessarily with your own current database, but with the public as well. And this would be your bread and butter. If you're trying to figure out how to get clients for pre-construction, it's in landing pages, because these are people that you don't know already. And this is a way to capture the public, but you've got to nurture them as if they were an online lead. They're no different than that.
And I would go back to your email marketing. So once you guys get email addresses on your landing page, you almost want to create a separate pre-construction
campaign
leads like group, and then just keep marketing all the projects to anyone that comes to that website.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think Eden has.
Yeah, and actually Steve has a couple. I'm going to show him after. And then you kind of go old school, just go direct. Like, just if you don't want to do websites and landing pages and that kind of stuff stresses you out, just pick up the phone and call them. Just say, hey, I have access to this project, or my brokerage is VIP on this, or do you even know about pre-construction? Do you want to learn more? Like, honestly, just pick up the phone and call them, and just do it all the time so that they know you have access to those things. You could also text them. It doesn't need to be a phone call. It could be a WhatsApp or a text. Like, even my clients that have bought resale just last year, or who I never thought would buy pre-con, I want them to know that I'm in it. So in 5 years, when they have extra investment money, they know that the Fulton sisters has access to pre-construction, and they'll do it. So honestly, we just text and WhatsApp people, just direct message them on Instagram, engage with them on Instagram like you normally would. You could just forward, like if you made a post on Instagram, forward that to your client directly as well. But you don't need to be super fancy in all the tech lead generating. You can also just go back to your database and just nurture it that way as well. Okay, so when you get a client, so you've done all your lead generating, you've done all your marketing, or you've got someone in your past database that is interested in pre-construction, you need to identify their goals. So I get this question a lot. What projects do we have in Oakville? And my first question is, what is your budget? And I need to know that information, right? So you need to ask a client, what's their budget? What are they looking to spend, or how much money do they have to put towards a deposit? You also need to know what their goals are. Like, are they an end user? Like, are they going to live in it themselves? Because if they do, they're going to care about the location. They're going to care about the floor plan. They're going to care about the view. They're going to care about a lot more deals that will actually make it a little bit harder for them to invest in pre-construction, but their questions are going to be a little bit different. Versus an investment or an investor, it's just math. They just want to know the ROI. So they want to know the cost of deposits. You may have to look up rental values in the area. Maybe it's a speculative area that is not hot right now, but they think is going to do something in the future. So they're going to have different questions than an end user will. Again, budget, find out when they want to close. So do they want to close like next year? Because that might be more like an assignment, or maybe something that's started digging already, or do they want to close 2025, 2028? So those are important questions to ask, is when they actually want to physically close and get a mortgage. And how much deposit do they have available? So do they have a bunch of money available right now? Are they going to get a bonus sometime in the future? You have to kind of time that out, because each builder, we're going to have their own schedule on deposits. So you have to figure out how much funds they're going to have available. Pre-approval, they still will need a pre-approval. So even though the mortgage doesn't actually start when it registers, the builder will ask for a pre-approval, because often they need that for their own financing. So it's really just a letter. It's not a commitment, obviously, because no one's going to do that for 3, 4, or 5 years out, but it is still a legitimate pre-approval. So you're going to have to work with a broker or a bank, or just ask us for help with that as well. But they're going to need to keep that in the back of their mind when they're buying pre-construction. You're going to update your client on all projects. So don't just update them on the ones that you think they're going to be interested in. Update them on everything, because they change all the time. So they might be in Oakville one time, they may be in Toronto the next, or in Durham. They're going to be very transient. So make sure you update them on everything so that they know you have access to everything as well. And once you sort of zero in on kind of more what they're looking for, a budget, you're going to want to ask for a price list, floor plans, and incentives, and send that information to them. So you're going to have to find your own way to sort of package that up and deliver that to them, and then go through that with them as well. And then again, like any other client, you have to engage and nurture with them the same way you would any other client. So you need your drip campaigns, you need to engage on WhatsApp, you're calling, all that same stuff. They're like a regular lead in your pipeline. And they may convert to resale one day too. So keep that in mind also. Then when you get closer to actually doing the deal, so you've identified a unit, if it's a VIP condo project, you might be submitting a worksheet. It's almost like a lottery system. You're not going to have a whole lot of control over what they get. So the way you submit your worksheet can be kind of strategic. You might not want to submit for the 1 bedroom with the south view. You may want to do, less desirable views, 2 bedrooms. It's all about besting your chance for getting that unit. Versus a freehold, you might have the opportunity to go into a showroom still, especially in this market now, and they are cooperating. So it depends on the builder, the demand, and the experience. So I'll always help you navigate that. But when you're ready, you will submit a worksheet, sort of like a reservation form. It will have all the same information as FinTrack. So keep in mind, like employment, address, phone number, email, like all the regular FinTrack information, as well as a copy of a bank draft. So they will need to go to a bank and get the bank draft, and we'll know the lawyer of who it goes paid out to. And it's just a copy, so they don't hand it in, and their ID. So back and front ID, and the ID does need to be legitimate. It can't be expired as well, because the builders will reject that. So keep that in mind also.
So worksheets basically just like
it's like a form. It's like a reservation form. Yeah. And then you'll sign the agreement. The agreement is like about 100 pages long. It's too long for any of you really to like understand or know. The listing brokerage will go through it with your client, but oftentimes in a VIP situation, you're literally submitting a worksheet, you're getting a unit, you're docu-signing the agreement, and then you have a 10-day cooling period. So that's the time where you're going to take it to your lawyer and have them review it. Don't not take it to a lawyer. Like they really should. There's a lot of stuff in there that they need to check, like duties and levies and assignments and just overall information. With freehold, though, there is no 10-day cooling period law. So some places will still do a conditional offer, but just keep in mind that the actual law is only for condos. In a freehold environment, you have to read the agreement, because some of them are firm right on the spot. I've seen clients sign firm deals right then and there, and they have no chance for a lawyer to review. So just keep that in mind. Again, in that conditional 10-day cooling period, if you have it, get your pre-approval during that time. So consider that like a financing condition period. Get your pre-approval, because if that doesn't come through during that period, you still have the chance to back out. The 10-day cooling period is actually 10 days also. They don't care about weekends or even holidays. It's literally 10 calendar days. Then you'll submit checks. So you're actually going to have a whole calendar of when all the checks and deposits are due, with dates as well. You do need hard copy, old school paper checks. So if your clients don't have that in advance and they're heavily shopping for pre-construction, have them go to the bank and order them, because those can take 2 weeks. And I've seen deals fall apart just from not having the checks ready to go as well.
Are those for like post-dated?
They're post-dated checks, yeah. And then once your deal goes through, probably like 6 months to a year later, you're going to have a design appointment. So you go into the center, you're going to have usually 3 options of standard design to pick from. Then they're going to upsell you on certain different finishes and flooring and things like that. So that's your time to go in and kind of design it. And then closer to when it's ready for occupancy, you're going to have a PDI appointment, and that's more related to your Tarion. You're going to do an inspection with a building representative, and sometimes your agent as well. So you guys can be there for your clients also. And you're looking for defects that you're marking up that they need to fix within Tarion. Then you have your interim occupancy. If it's a condo, if it's freehold, obviously, as soon as it's ready for occupancy, you move right in. But a condo, if you're on a lower floor, you could move in before the rest of the units get built. So you will have earned from occupancy, and you will have occupancy fees during that time. Then you'll close. So the building gets registered with the condo corp. You get a condo corp number, a board gets formed as well. And then it finally closes. And then the mortgage can actually kick in at that point as well. And then at that point, usually your final commission is paid out. And even then it's about like 3 months after that. So sometimes you'll get a little bit of commission in the beginning. You get the rest of it on final closing, but it's actually like another 3 months after the final closing. And yes, we do have to chase them for it a little bit as well. So the brokerage will invoice you for your commission or invoice the listing brokerage, but it gets paid out a little bit after closing. So I don't want to go too much, and if I do, maybe Claire will be here to step in, but closing considerations, so things that you and your clients need to think about with pre-construction is you will have duties and levies. So these are the costs at the end that it costs them to get the hydro hooked up, to get the water hooked up, just general costs that it needs to get going. And these costs are passed right down to the client. So usually in your agreement, your lawyer will have capped those fees, or maybe in a VIP situation, they're advertising cap fees. If they're not capped, a lot of people are going through this right now where they're paying whatever the charges are, and those are today's prices. And if your buyer didn't save money for that, you can be in big trouble. So make sure your lawyer takes a look at that. You will also have regular lawyer fees, maybe even to review the contract, or at the end, you'll certainly have closing fees as well. You'll still have land transfer tax as well, occupancy fees, assignment fees if you did that. There is some HST risk if you decide to rent out the unit you bought for. So that was kind of discussed in last week's session as well. There is new assignment HST, as well as the income being part of your income tax with assignments. That's new as of this year as well. And then there's just big risks in terms of like gambling. Like you have to rely on what the market's going to do between now and then. You have no idea. No one has a crystal ball. We've seen good years and bad years. Any new rules that come into play. So this year, there's a lot of new rules that are going to affect people in the pre-construction world. Builds that are not reputable and not closing. We've seen a couple of that. Not a whole lot, but we have seen it happen this year. And then life changes. So if someone loses their job or they get divorced or something happens in their life, you can't predict these things as well. And these things will impact you when it comes to closing time of the condo. So we'll go into questions soon, but these are some of the top questions that I get. I have a client who is looking for a project in, let's say, Toronto. What do we have? So I get this question a lot, and that question's okay. But my question back to you is going to be, well, are they an end user? Are they an investor? What is their budget? Like, ask some probing questions to your client as if they were like a regular lead that you just met, or they're buying resale. You would ask them what their budget is and things like that. So get some probing questions, because I'm going to ask you those anyways. And then I'll let you know, I'll help you navigate what might be good suited for them. I get the question, are we VIP on X project? In this market, I'm just going to say yes to everything, because everybody is VIP in this market. Last year, I might have said yes or no, and then I have you partner with a VIP. But if a client asks you, are you VIP? Yes, I'm VIP on all the projects that you need access to. So just get into that mindset that everybody right now is VIP, and it's just a marketing word. So you're going to hear platinum and VIP and exclusive and all that stuff. You are that. So just know that and get into that mindset. Why hasn't the builder paid my commission yet? So builders are not very good at paying commission. They don't like to pay it on time. They don't like to give us the money that you've worked so hard to earn. So the way the process works is we actually invoice them as soon as you do the deal, but 3 to 4 years goes by and they've lost the invoice. So that's the first excuse that I'll get. So we usually just re-invoice them. We have it in our calendar, in the deal admin's calendar, to chase them for invoices and send updated invoices. And sometimes you have to build a relationship with them. So I work really hard to connect with the accountants and the customer service people and the brokerages, so that at least we get answers and communication from them, because they're a little naughty. Some are very good and they're very regimented, and some are not. You will get paid. It's not about not getting paid, but you do have to chase them a little bit. So I apologize for all builders. I don't know why they're like that, but they just are. And we've never had somebody not get paid. So we just have to work on it a little bit. I have a client who wants to buy pre-construction out of province. Can we do that? So I get a lot of questions right now about Calgary in particular. You can do it. It's like a referral. So obviously you can't trade in that province, but there's 2 ways you can do it. One is you find the builder direct and you do a referral with them, and they send you the proper paperwork for that. The other one is finding a VIP agent or an agent locally in that market who has access, and you partner and you refer with them. So I can help you navigate that. But you can help your clients purchase in other provinces as well. How can I tell if it's a builder site or an agent website? I think I'm just going to show you online how to tell, because I basically just scrolled down to the very bottom of that landing page. Any agents that are advertising have to disclose that they're an agent. So it will say Remax or Century 21. It will have the agent's name. It's not bad to you can still cooperate and partner with them, but at least know that you're not dealing with the actual builder. The actual builder websites will have links back to the builder website or their Instagram page, but you'll always see it as a footer on the bottom. And then how do I get buyers for pre-construction? It's actually not my number one question, but it should be, because most of the time it's like I have a client that's asking. It's not about how to like lead generate for new buyers, which you should be doing right now because there's a lot of projects. So it's in the marketing that I just showed you. It's in the relationship building and things like that. You have to be very resourceful and you have to make a strategy and a business plan for yourself and what you're going to do. So Steve, for example, him and Alex have a strategy and what they're going to do. They have landing pages. They have a process for generating those leads. You just have to strategize, and I can help you with that as well. And you may have to invest a little bit of money in the marketing as well, same way you would advertising and on Facebook or anything else as well. Okay, before we go there, do you guys have questions for me or anything that I didn't talk about? I know I talk really fast, so.
Nothing yet so far.
Who has sold pre-construction already? Robbie, you saw pre-con? You'll be in the past. Steve, yeah.
Question number 4, which was the process?
It depends on the project. Yeah, I would just Google the project and see if it's something that they're advertising and it's really clear, you can go direct. If it's like a really exclusive, maybe boutique, and they only have townhouses or freehold, maybe I'd go to an agent, but I think it depends on the project. Yes.
If a client in today's market, if they were like, should I buy resale or pre-construction? What's your advice?
Resale. Yeah, get paid. I don't know, get paid today. It's more tangible. It's kind of old school. Like, I think it's important to go into something and look at the view. And also it's cheaper right now. Like pre-con back in the day, like pre-2000 used to be cheaper. Like it was your way to like get into the market. It was your way to like gamble a little. Now you're paying speculative pricing anyways, and that pricing's not guaranteed. So yeah, I'd convert them to resale. I'd show them like buildings available right now in their area, especially if they're an investor and they want to start their cash flow right away. But sometimes that person may not have 20% down right now. They want to spread it out a little bit. I don't love pre-construction for first-time home buyers, to be honest. I feel like it's a little bit risky and scary and it's too market dependent. I think it's good for investors and people that want to gamble, but sometimes pre-con is used for people to get into the market because you can get in with an extended deposit structure. So they need to be ready for that risk. I just say it's a risky thing. So.
Sometimes the buyer will say, what guarantee that my money is safe and the project is coming.
Yeah, there's no guarantee. All there is historical information and data and speculative things about the economy, but resale is more guaranteed for sure. It's today. It's measurable.
Carly, do you maintain a list of URLs of all the projects that are on the go right now?
Personally, we just send everything to, do I carry a list? No, we used to do that. I used to do it in Google Drive. There's too many. There's like literally hundreds. So.
If you go to BuzzBuzz or if you go to Condo Now,
yeah,
it's flaky information.
That's kind of the world. I mean, make your own database. That's what I would do. If I were you guys, I'd like literally make my own database and my own lead generating website, right? But I think it's so convoluted because there is so many projects and builders now as well. There must be a reason why MLS hasn't taken it on. Like RealNet's not, they don't advertise. It's not updated that well, right? I don't know.
They have new programs coming up. They're going to introduce a new program called Altus.
Okay, yeah.
This can be all the new construction and stuff like that. So you can start to look at that and see what projects are there. ATLUS.
ALTUS.
It's on your Toronto Glass.
And it's controlled by them.
If you really want to get into pre-construction, really get into it, it's called Urbania. They talk about building permits. So I'm going back like 10 years. So if you want to get projects or
like ahead,
then a thing called Urbania. So they start going, this project got approval, this project's going for approval. These are 10 years down the road, but if you really want to get into it.
Yeah.
Urbania?
Yeah. It's Urbania and Urbania. Right. And it's a news media that talks about new construction.
And they post when someone gets a permit or goes through the approval process, they post it so you can kind of get ahead of it too.
So it's ahead of the game. So if I want to do pre-construction seriously, I think that I would sort of have a geographic area and sort of, okay, I'm going to do this particular area and find all the projects that go up in that square, that box, wherever it might be, and this sort of be the specialist there.
Do the foreign buyer rules apply to new construction as well?
Yeah, and sometimes they have different deposit structures just for international. Sometimes it's 35%, and that's all builder dependent as well. But I've seen that in the past 2 or 3 years.
Probably probably done because of non-resident.
Yeah.
Buying pre-construction.
Yeah.
So this is a Century 21 project?
LSQ in particular, we're VIP on it. So that's why I'm not talking about particular projects today, but we are VIP on this particular one in LSQ, and it's in our hood. It's Victoria Park and Shepherd. So it's a good project to promote because
Where's that?
it's let's bring it up.
Shepherd and.
So on that west corner. Check it. North. It's not Massachusetts. It's called Fish House or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a Pizza Hut.
It's right here,
Oh, yeah.
but I don't know exactly. Is it on this side, Steve? Or do you remember? Southeast. Yeah, so it's here.
No, you see that? See where the pizza is? It's
Yeah,
right
where the
beside
pizza
pizza.
is.
Yeah, okay, here.
See that Y-shaped building?
Yeah.
When I was 15 years old, I was a cleaner for that building.
No.
American Express. I was a cleaner.
See, so we're gonna sell a lot of this project then.
But just an FYI on that area, I go to high school and go play.
I didn't
at the
know.
office at Lansing Square.
So we're gonna sell this project then. That's our historic story.
I started in the cleaning business.
Actually, Percy had his first office called Katelyn Fulton at Lansing Square.
There you go. See?
Then we better sell it.
This week. So they're gonna do a broker launch on the 28th. Yep.
No,
And
I meant when will it be?
2028. This is a long one. This is a good one for your clients that don't want to do anything and you don't know about the project. They're going to start digging probably next year, but that's right. They got a lot of work, but they do have the permits and everything, and they have their own financing. Alma Dev has their own financing for it, but it's a 2028. That's for the first tower, and there's 3 towers. They haven't even released it yet. So on the 28th, we'll find out. Yeah. I want to show you quickly too. So, yeah, condos are what's really popular, but you can do both. Yes, exactly.
I have 2 clients.
Okay. Yeah, so you and I would sit one-on-one, and then we'll go through the project, go through their budget, what their needs are, and I'll help you navigate which project to show them. So maybe make an appointment with me. Yeah. I Googled today just to show you like LSQ condos. And these are the ads that come up, and these are ads that are local to me in Scarborough. That's why these ones are showing up for me. But even this first one looks pretty legit, like lsqcondostoronto.com, right? That seems pretty official, right?
You're just showing what a builder's website versus a lead gen website.
Yeah. So wow, like it even has the video, floor plans, which I know are not even released yet, but somehow they've got a link there. I'm going to show you, right? This looks legit though, right? These are all the pictures. Look, it even has the moving stuff. It's so professional. Schedule a showing. It looks legit, right? So you have to keep scrolling. So you keep going, register, keep going. Oh, they even have the map. And then you go down, it says Steve Margaronis and Alex Roy, Century 21.
Oh, okay. So most people will think it's the builder site, put their information.
So this is what, so Steve's not a tech savvy guy. I know Alex is, but did you guys create this yourself? Did you hire somebody to build it? Yeah. So they've invested money into it. Now they're already paying. I can tell they're paying for ad money because it was the first link that came up for me. I even know the project.
Charge them a click.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'll pay you back for that. I'll register that, right?
I'll click on it.
But it shows up, and this is most likely what clients are going to click on as well. And that's how you can generate your own leads, right? Now, if you're an agent and you don't want to do this, you can also partner with VIP agents too. There's nothing wrong with that. They're going to charge you a referral fee, probably around 1% for a condo. There's nothing wrong with partnering with people too. So it really depends on you. I can help you navigate that as well. I'll always say, this is your chances of going on your own. This is your chances of going with a VIP. It's really up to you and your client as well. There's nothing wrong with partnering with people either.
Have you guys gotten leads to it, Steve? Or have you guys even?
We've got a couple leads, but it's been real estate agents.
Yeah. Which is good if you're real estate agents, then you're just like, yeah, I'll partner with you or something. And if you want access, I have access, and I'll help you.
Now be careful because in this market you can often go direct. So ask me before you do that, because there's some that I am VIP on and I want you to get your full commission because I'm not going to take anything for that relationship. We did have an agent that went through this process. It looked legit. They even had a unit. They had the unit her client wanted. She got to the agreement and then she looked at it and it was like, it says Remax. And she literally thought she was dealing with the builder. He positioned himself that way. He was not honest about it. Yeah, this is smart, but he got like we caught it within the cooling period, and I have a really good relationship with that builder. We canceled that agreement and we got a different comparable unit on her own. So she saved 1% of her commission that way. But sometimes I can't do that. And sometimes I don't have VIP. So just ask me before you jump into agreements, just so we can navigate it, because people are sneaky. Yeah, most places. Yeah. Oakville, Mississauga is where I get a little less because I just don't know those areas as well, but I know people who do. But yeah, mostly Durham, GTA, Toronto, like we've got that pretty well.
I asked you about Edward County.
Yeah, like again, I'd probably partner somebody locally out there too, but yeah, especially Prince Edward County, they're having permit problems right now. They don't want new development out there. So
They don't want?
no, so there's a lot of projects that they've been advertising that haven't done anything, like Vine Ridge.
Yeah, this is just on the water.
Yeah, it's different. It's a more boutique feeling. You're probably going to be able to go into a showroom in that case and let them walk you through it too, especially depending on the price point if it's not as popular. It just depends. Yeah. Any other questions, Kate, on Facebook? Or
No,
I don't have anything. Let's talk about, does anyone have any assignment listings that they want to talk about or promote? Now's your chance, because we know that there's no real database for assignment listings. We know about Broker Pocket, Facebook groups, WhatsApp groups.
Like to stand up.
Right. Maybe come close so people can hear you too. Yeah. I'll turn my virtual. Just promote it. You got to sell it for your client, just so you can tell your client that you've helped them promote it.
Investment opportunity
Ask him anything.
that you ever did see.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a stacked townhouse.
Okay.
It's in
Get in the mic.
Scarborough. Where am I?
You're here.
Okay. It's a stacked townhouse in Scarborough. It's 2 bed, 2 bath, $150 maintenance. I'm asking $750, but it's negotiable. It's closing September. Deposits paid $91,000, and original purchase price is $610. Profit payable at closing. Good.
So if I were you, I would get that information, get him to see.
The phone number, I'll give you my card.
Yeah, I would get the information and send it to your client. Hey, I have access to this exclusive assignment.
It's in the Melbourne Mall.
It's like Scarborough, right?
It's in the parking lot. Yeah, but transit's coming up there, so what? My tone changed. But we're cooperating too. 3%.
So what's his profit? What's his profit going to be, Michael, on that?
Yeah.
What?
What will his profit be if you sold it for what you're asking?
Payable on closing.
No, but what is like the number?
Maybe like 90 grand.
Okay.
If I get what I think it's sell for.
Yeah.
So Carly, in this case, just
Yeah.
like for fun, or do you not answer that?
Yeah, so like so there's 90K profit at stake, but he's already put deposits in. He's probably paid 20% deposits, you said already,
So
or
he paid 91,000. I think for 710, but I told him there's 750. But
yeah. So the way you would do a deal like this, you have to negotiate it. So he's got profit he wants, and he also has deposits he's already paid. In a really hot market, you'd pay it to him right away. Like he would get the money and you would take the risk. He would literally have it in his pocket, not in a trust account. In a market where we can negotiate, we're probably going to have it in a trust account. We might even negotiate to have it on closing when they have more money from the mortgage as well. So it's all going to be written out. There's a different whole offer for assignments. We could literally have a whole session just on the assignment. Even Nelson and I still go back and forth depending on the parameters, because they change all the time. There is a formula, but it's all negotiated as well. So in your case, you're okay with the profit on closing, which is in one case, the buyers will take it from their mortgage. Then.
it's Nielsen and Shepherd, and has a terrorist.
There you go, Nielsen and Shepherd.
Yeah.
Hi.
Instead of the garage.
No, it has
Okay, good. So Michael, you need to connect. She's got a client for you.
You do?
And you guys should all advertise it. Like advertise it as if it were yours. You're getting paid. I'm sure he's cooperating.
No, because my clients don't be stressing me out.
But
They're
this is
stressful.
The beauty, guys, when you have assignments, you're surrounded by real estate agents. Like, so if you're just putting on Instagram, like, cool, but you have a whole office of people that may have buyers that you don't even know about.
Yeah, get the
That's why
exclusive
it's
agreement
good.
to list it and even put it on our broker bay. Our agents will get that as well. Again, be resourceful, like push it out to as many people as you can. Let other people advertise it for you on their own social medias. He's cooperating, so I'm sure he's going to let you advertise it as well. So.
Yeah.
Okay, we have an assignment as well. I just need to my own flag for Fulton Sisters. So we have an assignment at the Keeley, 3100 Keel. It's part of the Keeley is what it's called, Downsview Park. It's a 1-bedroom facing east. It's just like a touch less than 500 square feet, but it's a really nice layout, and it does come with parking and locker. My guy paid $418 for it, and we needed to sell it. So like whatever you guys can bring, we have it like on Broker Pocket for $525,000, but I know he'd do a little less too. It's a nice like entry level, like good for a user, I think, or even renting value. I think you can probably get like $2,400 in that unit based on other older buildings. So that's our assignment. And I only have 1 more week to sell it, and they're not going to let us do assignments. So if I can't sell it in a week, then we will close on it and we'll rent it out, and we'll wait the full year period for his tax reasons, and then we'll try to sell it once it's ready. But that was not the intention when he bought it, but that's the market we are in today.
The subways walking.
Yeah.
Subway walking.
No, I don't think so. Downsview Park. Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah, they're kind of developing that whole area. It's taking time, but yeah.
There.
There, that's my plug. Anyone else?
Mine's amazing. I'm supposed to teach.
There you go. He's trying to get multiples.
Trying to start a bidding war here.
Yeah. 1 year free payment.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Steve, you have an assignment as well? Do you want to come and say it in the thing, or you want me to repeat it? Okay.
It's at Mobilio 1+10.
Mobilio 1+10. That's in Vaughan.
Yeah, it's in Vaughan, Gene and 407.
Gene and 407. Menkes. That's a really nice builder.
Yeah, really good. It's in occupancy right now.
Okay. What are the occupancy fees? Just curious.
2,400.
Is it 1 bedroom or
1+10.
1+10? So 2,400 occupancies for 1+10 in Vaughan.
And including the parking locker.
No parking, no locker, but you can. I believe you can still get. I think they still have parking.
Like wait list.
Yeah, I'll send you the info for sure.
And is it on Broker Bay as a listing?
Broker Bay, it's not. I have it on that.
Broker Pocket. Get it on Broker Bay as well, just so our agents can see.
Yeah, I'll put it on. Okay.
Anyone else have
And we could
assignments
do-
that you want
we
to talk
could do
about?
profits on closing.
No? Any other questions, Kate, on Facebook? Any questions on Zoom? There's a lot of information. Claire, any closing remarks?
There's two types of assignments, right? So that's one of the card
Come to the
yesterday here. So we got
Marketing.
Most cases, a lot of agents will have people come and they say, I want to buy pre-construction. All right. But how many people advertise like Steve's doing there to try to generate people want to buy it? Like usually what I see happening, people come to me, I want to buy pre-construction, they come to us and we try to find a place. But it's not like they're advertising. So you might want to consider being proactive, trying to find people to do pre-construction. Today's maybe not the best day, or like in the market itself.
but if you could lead gen to get someone for a project and convert them to resale.
Yeah.
So they've got this web page there. Did you say that you hired somebody to create that web page?
Yeah, I've used them before. That's basically what they do. They do landing pages, and they can set up your Google account. They could set up your budget. So you do everything. Obviously, you're going to pay for it, but if you're not a tech guy like me, or if you don't like doing it, like Alex isn't more of a tech guy, but he doesn't really like doing the Google ads and everything.
Yeah.
Just pay for it. It's a one-stop shop. Yeah, it's going to cost you some money, but
yeah,
who cares? If you make a sale, it pays for it.
So they're doing the AdWords for you as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they were first to show up right there.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, there's other things out there. There's a webpage out there called Incoms. Anybody using Incom?
I know some agents do.
And what Incom does, they'll actually go to they'll actually create a landing page for all the different builders, and you just add that pre-construction to your webpage, right? Was it $600 a year or something for the site?
Yeah.
That's one way of doing it as well. But to be a little proactive, to give you guys an idea, when they had VIP or platinum people, not today's market, but let's say two years ago, when somebody said they're platinum VIP, to become platinum VIP back in those days, you had to sell like 20, 30, 40, 50 pre-construction homes, not 1 or 2. Wow. So you think, well, this guy's getting special treatment. Why is he getting special treatment? Because he's selling 50 houses, right? And how they're doing it sometimes, they don't even do it in Canada. They go overseas and they'll do a presentation, they'll sell them overseas.
Yeah.
Okay, so and that's all history now, but that's what was happening, right?
Yeah, but they can't buy now for.
No, it's all history now, but the market took care of it too. So you have to decide yourself where you want to be proactive. Is this going to be a pillar? Is this something you're going to do? If you're going to make it happen, then do what Steve did and be serious about it, or get in comments or be half serious about it, and or wait for your clients that want pre-construction and come to us and we sort of pick it off one at a time, right?
Yeah.
So it really depends on what your business plan is and what your pillars are. Right?
I think that was a good word. Like be proactive. This is like it's not really a reactive.
It can
type
be.
of- It can be reactive, but you can build a pretty good business out of it if you are making like a proactive strategy to find strangers and people to buy this thing.
Yeah.
Claire, what was that Urbania site you were talking about?
Let me try to find it right now. I think it's a little different. Urban Nation. That's what it is.
Urban Nation.
Urban Nation.
I'm on Google Alerts. Everybody does. I'm on Google Alerts, and I have pre-construction. So every time a pre-construction shows up on Google Alerts, I get an email for it.
Oh.
You guys, everybody does that too, right?
Yeah.
And you must get them all day, like
I'll get every day. I'll get.
and then he sends them to me, and then I get them like doubled.
Yeah. That's how I do. I should go to Google Alerts and say pre-construction Toronto, pre-construction wherever it might be, and then as soon as somebody publishes something, Google picks it up and sends me an email.
Urban Nation.
Mm-hmm.
So what it's called?
Yeah.
Did somebody bring it up? Urban Nation?
I'm trying to, but maybe.
Is it like a?
It's like you have to sign up, I think, for it. It's like a news kind of information site.
Subscriber? You gotta pay for it?
Yeah, you don't have to pay for it. You can do free, I think. And then you can also pay for their like yearly reports also.
Oh, that's it.
Okay, it didn't look right.
I'll try to find it.
I think another important thing with pre-con is you gotta tell your clients that they have to be prepared to close.
Say again, please.
Like they have to be prepared to close on the unit.
Like
they might
don't
not be
depend on
assigned.
an assignment.
Yeah,
Don't
like
depend on assignments because
try it, gamble for it, but you gotta be prepared to close if not.
Yeah, like my client could close on it. He just says if I could sell it and make some money now, then I'd rather do that because I could use that money for things. But like they have to be prepared to close on it, or else they're gonna have issues that you see 30% of the people out there have issues because they can't get this urban problem.
Urban Toronto. Urban Nation still does their own kind of thing too. They're also like a news outlet.
Yeah, I was going to say. Oh yeah, Urban Toronto does.
UrbanToronto.ca.
So
Does it look like this, Claire? It could be. Yeah, like they're even talking about LSQ there too.
You're talking about what your projects?
Yeah. There's a ton of websites, honestly. You could probably sign up for a whole bunch.
It's just a lot more research, I think, for the fun.
We'll be very resourceful. Yeah,
Resourceful.
okay, so we looked it.
And they'll send you everything.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's not for other agent stuff. Yeah.
Sign up to these guys, they'll send you everything, whenever something goes out or chat with you or whatever they
Yeah.
they'll send you every project.
Yeah. That's true.
Get on their market.
Just get on there.
Take theirs and dump it out.
That's why I delete some of the
Rebrand it.
over their thing, direct messages, and I just send it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'll stick around, but I'll say goodbye to online virtual people and have a great day.